Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Waking up, admit that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Waking up, admit that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all, living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
Wait, are you doing your tweet too?
Yeah, that's not a podcast. A podcast starts. You doing your tweet too?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. There's nothing wrong
For a
with that.
second, I
No,
thought she was gonna have the
we-
chicken shirt on.
It wasn't a shirt. It wasn't a shirt.
It was a dress.
It was.
Are you gonna wear the chicken shirt to
It
PAX
doesn't.
East?
Listen, if I wear it, you're gonna feel dumb because it doesn't look anything like a chicken. It's just that photo.
I mean, will I feel dumb though?
You will. You absolutely will because it doesn't look anything like. There's
You
no
know how
feathers
what
on
are
it.
people called who?
It's just white. It's just white. That's the only thing. I feel.
Those people who lie so much that like the stuff they saying becomes the
You
truth.
a liar?
No, I'm saying me. I've told myself that that's a chicken suit. So even if it's like the most beautiful, elegant thing you've ever bought, it's a chicken.
But you wouldn't know. Like, if I didn't tell you, like, hey, this is the dress I wanted in that picture, you would have no idea that was the dress.
You ever
That's
seen
my
that
point.
show? That movie is and he said, "You white, you Ben Affleck. If you're a white, you wearing a chicken suit."
Wow. Let's not start off like this. We still have a couple more
What
days.
movie was that? That was the
know.
movie, and that's where it came from. Little black kid. Y'all know what it is in the chat. Y'all know. Shout out to THX 1138. What's going on, my boy? Hope life is treating you well. Steph, what's going on, my boy? Hope life is treating you great. The legendary Yobi is in the building. Lloyd Metroid, what's happening there? Listen, we've been gone only 1 week, but it feels like multiple because so much stuff has happened. Okay.
Oh, y'all were gone last week?
No show last week. Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Go love somebody. You don't love nobody. You're cold-hearted. That's why you didn't know we had no show Valentine's Day.
Oh, maybe
I
was working and I was at Dice in Las Vegas. Maybe it had nothing to do with love.
I was shooting dice too. You don't see me talking, making excuses.
Hey, them Sixers was hitting.
The Sixers was hidden. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
We was up. It was it was up. And then the hard way on them threes. Whoa, we was
Hello, chat.
But,
Baron he has a gambling problem. And I think I kind of triggered him.
It's been a while since we've seen each other. A whole ass Super Bowl happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Oh, I should have worn my hoodie. Oh, wow.
Yeah, the 49ers loss was the next best thing to then the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. It's like it's Cowboys winning, 49ers losing it. And everything's freaking amazing. But listen, since in this week, before we get into everything, I've been loved by a group of people that's never shown me love. And those same group of people are telling me to shut up and go eat pie today because they don't like my opinion. And that means I'm doing something right because I always sit somewhere right in the middle with a lot of stuff. But that doesn't matter because with all that said, what's going on, people? Fame and the same here from LV1Gaming.com. And congratulations, you guys leveled up to 280. This is the Double XP podcast. And listen, I promise you, my goal is to get these emotes for Dez, Hugger, and Bordy. They refuse.
No.
Give me.
Don't you lie on me like that. I sent you the picture because you made such a big deal about the fucking chicken.
When?
Oh, I'm about to bring up screen captures because I definitely sent it.
Listen, black people stay lying, bro.
I definitely sent
black
it.
Black people stay lying about something, bro. It's Black History Month. And you choose to be a stereotype.
Right, he act like because Johnny here, he just gonna act up and all black people are terrible.
Black people be lying.
Johnny
Black History Month trying to get away with stuff.
Like
you ain't sent me nothing.
I did. Okay, I'm gonna screen capture it right now.
So I promise you that's
CVS
coming.
With a receipt.
Okay? I am.
I promise you. Flames of Founders in the chat. What's happening with you? Bordy McBoard is in the chat. What's going on with you, Bordy? I appreciate y'all for coming through. Listen, do me a big favor. If you guys can hit the like button, that helps out a whole bunch. Right? Helps with the algorithm. If you enjoy the content, if you laugh even one time, you owe us a like. Share the stream out on Twitter or X or Cornhub or wherever you like to post content at. Share the video there. Listen, I'll pull the middies out if that's what gets us qualified.
Baron looked at you and I snapped back in a frame like, sir.
Oh,
listen.
Hey, here it is. In our 2XP podcast chat.
I do want the chicken picture. As her emote. We got. Is
it chicken body?
Yeah, it's the chicken one.
It's the chicken picture. The one you
okay, I'm gonna set that up today.
Yeah, we gotta make that happen.
I'm gonna set that up during the podcast, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna set that up during the show. But listen, we got a lot to talk about because changes are happening at Microsoft. Big time changes are happening at Microsoft. Today was a historic day. Depending on how you want to look at it. Sony is making changes as well. And I'm sorry, my Xbox brethren. Hear me out. I gotta get to the introductions, but hear me out, Xbox brethren, before we get to this part. Because I know y'all hate me and love me, depending on what I say. So you're probably gonna hate this, but you cannot sit here and say the writing's on the wall with PlayStation games going to PC day and date, while also saying, it's just 4 games. It means nothing. What we won't do is lie. What we will do is be consistent. So first up, my right hand, man, the floor hugger with the hardest of ours. What's going on, sis?
Oh, we got a little grunt on it now. Okay, I like that. I like that. What's up, everybody? I
Hey.
missed you guys. It's been a week. Let's talk some gaming. Let's just get into it because you know this is Grandpa. I don't want to talk about this kind of topic.
Next up, if your emails is popping and your DMs is full, that's because communication director level 1 trying to get a hold of you, baby. Baron J67, what's going on, Chief?
You know, gaming is everywhere. Gaming
don't
is
play them
afoot. You know, he
Playing games right now.
he being there. What? No, why would I do that? On the clock? Are you kidding me? I only do one thing off the clock, and that's podcast with my friends.
I love it here. Oh my
You know,
gosh.
you know what's dope? We're gonna be in the same room here in a couple of weeks, right? We're gonna do a live
Yeah.
show.
We should do a live show.
We're going to do a live show, and it's going to be amazing.
Do you
Ain't
think
gonna
they
be
got
playing no
them?
games then.
Do you think they got them clubs where you throw folded money? Because it's gonna be my
Yeah,
birthday
it's
weekend.
Boston.
Oh, that's your birthday weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Baron.
Toot that thing up, mommy, make
You
it
gonna have to
roll.
sleep with a bowl beside you. Oh no.
Listen,
I don't know
we
if I'm going to
going
one of
out
those
then.
clubs, but
We having a good time.
I'll take you guys out to dinner.
Oh, I like
Hey,
She
I'm not going
Next-
to the club, but I'll
why
take you to
not?
dinner.
It's fun.
next
Mm.
up, freshly home from her time at Dice, rubbing elbows with famous people. So now she is famous.
Yeah.
One of the hardest working women in this industry. I love her so much, especially when she does the chicken dance. Dance, what's going on, sis?
Not much, guys. It's good to be back. Last week was very exhausting. I think I legit just forgot that we weren't doing a show because I think we talked about it beforehand. So I just forgot. Sorry. But no, it's good to be back. You know, like while I was there, met a lot of really cool people. Got to take a picture
do I
with
get your autograph now?
You do.
Yeah.
You
I
do.
need that- I
And you
need
know
that
why?
autograph.
You know why? It's
Why?
because I met kind of funny Greg. So that's why you get to meet. That's why you get to.
The last guy that was on his show who met him paid to meet him.
Yeah, I met him
Ah!
for free. And we said we were going to go out for tacos. So listen, it's coming full circle. It's coming full circle. It's coming full circle. But also,
You got to be a level 1 OG to understand.
Understand how
Yep.
deep that went. Come
That's
on,
a lore.
man.
We need to start writing a wiki.
That's level
We got
1
some
lore
deep
right
cuts.
there.
Cheese and crackers.
but no, it was really cool. Got to meet the voice actor behind Miles Morales. Super dope
Yeah.
guy. Gonna try to bring him onto the show so that you
Yeah.
guys can talk to him and like ask your questions and things like that. And yeah, I got to meet my in-game baby daddy from Baldur's Gate 3, so that was nice too. And
Did she say industry daddy?
my future wife. No, in-game baby daddy.
Yeah.
I thought she.
Sorry,
Oh man,
y'all.
I'm going. Oh, Swaggy,
Sorry,
what's
y'all.
happening, man? Listen, last but not least, I was told to make sure that the affirmative action was on point today.
Stop.
Shout out to my favorite stormtrooper, Johnny Man, the man who controls all the pals. What's happening with you, my boy?
What?
And it's gonna be a long, long time. Welcome back,
And I
everybody.
think
It's a pleasure
gonna
to be
a
here.
long-
I love crashing this show.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the panel don't want me being here, but that's exactly why I'm here.
Lies.
It's lies. Everybody wants you here
But-
except me. That's it.
Yeah, okay. But listen, I come with a message that all
What?
must understand.
Jesus.
Freedom isn't free, but it comes in 762.
I didn't get it.
We need to be playing, fam.
Yeah.
Wait, Johnny, you picked up Helldivers?
Bro, we've been
Yeah,
running.
Baron forced me.
I hate you, Nick. Ah.
No, Baron is the. You did say that. Baron is the worst for that. And then be like, why can't you? You guys were playing games without me. Just understand that Baron and Johnny have a very special relationship, and
They do.
it doesn't include anybody else.
I won't lie.
I got
She's my
proof. I
mentor.
actually have
Nobody
proof
is
of
gonna
this.
say otherwise.
I mean, like,
I have proof of this. Hold on. I have
Dez is not
image
wrong.
proof.
Also-
How long I've been telling my let's run help?
bro.
All right.
I also told
Look,
Brandon,
look,
but
guys.
every
Look
single
at
time I
this
was
is us
like,
on
man, I wish
Valorant.
Fame was here.
This is
I
us
wish
on
But
Fame was
Valorant.
here.
also, like, you have a voice, so if you wished Fame was there, why didn't you message Fame?
Well, technically, it was
No,
2
I
in the
wanna hear, I
morning, and
wanna
I
hear
knew
the
he wouldn't be
excuses.
online. But
I
I
don't
did
wanna hear the
say
excuses.
earlier in
Look
the
at the
chat.
picture in the chat.
I wanna hear the
Is
excuses.
it a mini box?
Picture in the chat.
Yeah, in the meme box. Look at the picture. That's me.
Oh, that's such a good
Hey,
picture.
Fame, that's the last time you'll be giving Johnny props like that because he didn't even try to invite you. You already know
I
what
did.
Baron's about.
Usually Johnny be trying to run games with me. It's Baron that tries to avoid me at all costs.
Baron avoids everybody.
You know,
That's true.
I'm still waiting for Power World to crossplay. I'm still have that on deck just for you. Fame.
Listen, my power game on point. Listen, I finally got that Jetra gun. You can't tell me nothing, bro. Oh no, Alex is in the chat. Oh no, Alex is in the chat. Keep him away from Floor Hugger. You guys are not to be in the same room at the same time.
Ooh.
No,
We
you
are
have more
keeping
to
y'all 6 feet away from each other.
And
Because of the
legitimate
love?
king size feet.
Or
Like
because
feet,
wars?
like toes.
Maybe we
Got
shouldn't be
your
doing
toes.
this with Alex on the put your hands
Oh!
down.
I'm about to say, Fame. Like,
Put your hands
You're-
down, G.
You're
I feel
getting
like I learn
clipped.
something new every day. Every
yeah.
day.
Listen,
I know
oh no,
Alex is
Alex
like
and Hugger is as a whole lore in itself in Double XP
Yeah.
podcast.
somebody needs to start writing the wiki.
Somebody does. Because
Like,
we got some deep cuts.
We had a whole episode that should have been put
we
into.
marked it
It
18.
should have added an extra XP on top of it.
Oh,
When
it was
Alex
extra
is in the building.
spicy.
It was 3 XP for sure.
I learned so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like, he had me
just in-depth
Googling stuff, and I
conversations
was
about
like, you-
standing up too quick and flipping tables over. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
I mean, if it's
went
that
down.
powerful, like
Speaking of power and pile driver, no, but it's
Listen, we're gonna jump right into it. Honestly, shout out to Oh No Alex is in the chat, man. No, don't be innocent, motherfucker. We see you. We see you. Listen, I am currently being ransacked on Twitter because the people who I say who don't really rock with me like that are also hating me today because I'm telling you, you cannot be. And I don't want to generalize because I guess you technically can. But if you are someone who only own an Xbox, right? It can't feel good today seeing how there are 2 games, regardless if you feel, oh, no one's playing that game. No one's playing that game. You got 2 games that were announced today from major publishers that skip the console that you own, the only one that you own, while also seeing that the console that you own is also putting their games on other platforms, right? And I get the end of the day, oh, more people get to play more games, right? I think that we're diving into toxic positivity in a way, because granted, do I understand that more people playing more games is a good thing? Yes, I get that. But if that's your grandstand, that's you aren't being as genuine as I think you really want to be. Because at the end of the day, you bought a particular thing because it can do something that something else can't do, right? You bought it for a particular reason, whether it's your iPhone, whether you bought NVIDIA over AMD, whether you bought a Sony camera over whatever, whether you got a Samsung TV over a Hisense TV, you bought a particular thing for a reason, right? Because if you sit here and tell me that you bought this iPhone because it has iCloud and iTunes and it can do this, that, and the other, but then there's a million other phones that can do the exact same thing, why are you choosing Apple? Unless you ready to admit to me it's brand loyalty. And people don't want to admit that they have brand loyalty. People, oh, I'm not loyal to a brand. I'm not loyal to a $1 billion company, right? People are afraid to admit that. Today, it's not brand new. It's not brand new news, but Hi-Fi Rush is announced for PS5. Sea of Thieves was announced for PS5. Pentiment was announced for Switch. Grounded was announced for Switch. If you look at the comment sections for Sea of Thieves, it's so much positive. People are so excited. I think a lot of it is fake. I think a lot of the PlayStation fans or fanboys in those comment sections just trying to piss off the Xbox fans, right? But you're seeing a Hi-Fi Rush trailer with a PlayStation splash screen, no Xbox Studios logo nowhere in existence, right? It's almost, and I could put on MLB The Show. I could put on Helldivers on PC. What's the first thing I see?
PlayStation. Can't even skip
PlayStation,
past
right? Right. So they went all in on that, and that shows you One, they are serious about what they're doing. Number two, we have release dates, which means this thing has been in. This ain't no new idea. This is something that's been in play for a very long time. You don't have release dates for games, and the port already wasn't in play. And then three, if these games are successful, it doesn't take some thick ass glasses to see what's next, right? And I'm not sitting here and gonna tell you it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying the toxic positivity of saying this is a great thing for our industry is not necessarily the play here. B, I'm gonna start with you, and we're gonna get on PlayStation because PlayStation is doing some stuff that people are ignoring as well, right? But Xbox is saying, hey, we are going further into being because they're already a third-party publisher, right? We're going further into it, and we're releasing games from our first-party studios on other platforms. What this means for Xbox and our industry moving forward.
Well, the space. Right. The space is changing. You know, everything is evolving. Gaming is evolving. Time to accept the brand new. No, but seriously, it's really a odd time, you know, especially for folks who've been gaming for a long time, right? Even, you know, you go to the idea of a Netflix of gaming with Game Pass. Like that was just such a wild concept going from either renting or buying a game. Like that, you know, that's what I grew up doing.
That's
You
what I
know,
was thinking too.
yeah, like you went to
People were
Hollywood
like,
Video or Best Buy,
"That'll
like
never work."
Mhm.
yeah, and it's you know, and it was just such a strange concept. But I look at all of this as if I was a kid, I would love it. You know, it sounds so bad because it's so different. But if I was a kid today, the way things are going and the way things seem to look like they're moving with gaming, I would love it. One, I would be able to get my games a lot cheaper, right? Because it's safe to assume if it's going to be across the board, I'm going to be able to find a deal somewhere for one of these consoles. Now, at the end of the day, it sucks as a like if I was a Xbox only fan. Like I think about your tweet earlier where you were talking about how if you only game on Xbox, it feels like you're taking a loss. I'm summarizing.
Yeah.
And that's true because this is the for the last
I can
two
read it
generations.
for those
Well,
who want context.
Oh yeah,
You can't be an Xbox only gamer and be genuinely happy right now. Xbox games on other platforms announced today, along with more third-party games skipping Xbox. If you have the money, I said, if you have the money, buy a second console or a PC. Can't say the writing's on the wall with PlayStation and PC and not see what's happening at Xbox. And I'm just getting rang through the coals for that.
Well, and this is all because Xbox is officially the third party publisher of one of the top selling games every year, Call of Duty, and then mobile and all these, without getting into the weeds, but we'll just talk about Call of Duty. So if you're already known and owner of the top selling game across all platforms every year, or at least across all consoles every year, why not throw your other games out there eventually? Like why not seed your other games into these platforms? Now
the business behind it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's wild, right? But then the part that I get caught up on and what sucks is, as the Xbox fan, trying to wrap up my point because I feel like I'm rambling, I'm sorry. But the whole point is the stars started to align as an Xbox fan. You got the publisher, the Activision Blizzard deal went through. If they wanted to, for some odd reason, they could have crushed Sony into the dirt and made Call of Duty exclusive. You had all these things lining up. You had a successful year. Games are hitting. You winning awards.
You got a bunch of games coming.
Yeah, you got games coming. Like everything's starting to, and then all of a sudden you hear, hey, and by the way, we're gonna start with these 4, but depending, like. Now you're seeing your games go to another console, and it's like, well,
here's what bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
That podcast, right? The podcast, the 20-minute long podcast, right? And one of the first things they talked about was Starfield and Indiana Jones, not being a part of the first 4 games or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so maybe it was me because I dipped so much in the Kool-Aid. I was like, I tweeted out Starfield and Indiana Jones exclusive to Xbox. And so much stuff was said during that podcast, just for that to be a article posted after the podcast, with you saying things that you probably should, to me, you should have said during the podcast, because it went from these games were exclusive to, in the interview, you telling The Verge, well, we should never rule out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that blew my mind. Like,
okay,
say that during the podcast.
Well, let me. I'm gonna say this final point about it, right? And I've said this on a few other podcasts this past week. You got to think about who the parent company of Xbox is. You know, I'm not heavy into business, but I know for a fact a majority of computers on Earth are running some form of Microsoft, or they have some form of Microsoft software application, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a tech guy, but it just is what it is. There haven't been too many computers that I've turned on that didn't have Microsoft.
Oh, I use Linux
or Ubuntu, but no,
there's
but
always that one nerd.
But no,
Yeah.
but just acknowledging that point. When I'm gonna tell you the reason why I thought all the doom and gloom news was real, or not the doom and gloom, the extreme far end news about games, the full slate, everything, is because we stopped seeing Phil Spencer and we started seeing Satya Nadella everywhere speaking on behalf of Xbox and what's going on with Xbox. You didn't see Phil on CNN. You seen the head of Microsoft.
Phil was playing Diablo 4. He wasn't even worried about nothing that was being said.
But all of that was going on, and then knowing that the company we're dealing with is notorious for being ahead of its time and then falling short and not. I mean, look, HoloLens, the Kinect, the whole system of everything being linked within Xbox, like.
Well, wasn't HoloLens 5 years too early? That's crazy.
No, all of these things were extremely too early. Even the Kinect and the Xbox One, that whole system of what Xbox One was with the Kinect is the world we live in today. So knowing all of these things and knowing them always being $1, having an extra $1 and being too soon, I was like, oh, maybe they're getting ready to bow out right as they're winning. And they're going to make the crazy jump and just start putting their games everywhere. It would make sense. If it's all profit, we know consoles don't make profit. The Xbox console does not make the money. So if it's all profit, of course, put your software everywhere.
Yes. I mean, that's
if it's
anyway.
If it's just money, if it's screw gaming, screw the love of the culture, screw all of that. If it's about making money, we're about to see every game everywhere. Because the console is not the seller.
It's the game.
It's the games. So I have Game Pass. Hey, you love Xbox? We got Game Pass. Or if you want to be PlayStation, you want to go play your PlayStation, you just go buy our games there. That's why the idea of it didn't sound so crazy. It really didn't.
Well, it makes sense. Like, games are going towards the whole like streaming thing. Like, that is the future of games. It's not even going to matter which platform you're playing them on.
And you have to keep in mind Microsoft. Like, at the end of the day, Phil Spencer got a boss, and then Phil Spencer's boss has shareholders.
Like, Phil is trying to
hold on. No,
I think he's trying to retire.
I think.
You think Phil's trying to ease on down the road? He gonna Jim Ryan us?
I do. I think he's tired.
I think I think the reason why it took so long to put the news out, and everybody's like, oh, this is just random guy. I'm not a professional in that space. Like, I'm just random guy. The way they were looking during that podcast, something tells me they had to fight to keep things quote unquote normal. Because let's be real, they already told us back in 2020 they're competing with Amazon, Google. Like, these are their competition. And what does Amazon and Google do? Have their shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Microsoft was the first to do it, though.
Yeah, but
they're falling behind with So if you have a product that you can sell on multiple platforms, and that's what you're gonna do.
And the only reason you're not doing it is the sake of console love, exclusivity, nostalgia. And you're not making money on your console. Like, you're not making money on your console. You telling me I could you could guarantee anywhere from 10 to 20% right off top to your shareholders by just making these games available everywhere. I can just guarantee it. Like, hey, we're not even going to print disc. We're just going to put digital access.
Not only
everywhere.
that, once they did Xbox Game Pass and you can play it on PC, and Microsoft is like the king of PC, like they don't need
Yeah.
to. They don't need to. They don't need.
You know,
to
I like how
continue with
famous
Xbox.
people agree with other famous people because Nick is agreeing with Dez in the chats, and I reckon Phil is hitting the tipping point and will let Sarah take over.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know what's crazy? Think about
That's
Phil
what's
Spencer
up.
had
That's what's
got these
happening.
promotions, and he was who Matt Booty is now. I believe that's the position he had, right? And everyone turned to Phil for that. And he got promoted, putting people in the spot, and no matter what, they still turned to Phil for that. I can see Phil just being exhausted.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
definitely see him
said.
just being
Yeah, yeah.
exhausted.
He's
Like
just
he's over it.
tired. So yeah, like they're setting it up for a change. They're setting it up for a change.
The dude
That
aged
makes
like the
sense,
president.
It
Have you
does
seen him?
make sense.
If you
He
look
gets
at
blamed
pictures of
for
Phil,
everything.
Yeah, he's aged like the president.
Yeah,
Like,
he
even
gets
from the
blamed for
end of the
everything.
Activision Blizzard, like
Yeah.
when he was the whole suit, him walking down the street versus what he was looking like in that meeting or in that podcast, the man's weathered. He looks like a president. Like,
it has to be stressful being over Xbox because you're so far going to be behind the 8 ball no matter what because of who you're in competition. I know you say you're in competition with Amazon, Apple, and stuff, right? But at the end of the day, when gamers think about gaming, they think your competition is PlayStation and Nintendo, right? So it has to be stressful knowing that there aren't many things I can do that will be considered a win or goodwill. I can give a bunch of games away. We can do stuff like Game Pass, but at the end of the day, people are still going to look at what we do as basic. But if PlayStation and Nintendo does it, this is the like look at the people. If you were so excited for Hi-Fi Rush, why didn't you play it when it came out last year? Everybody named Mama, oh my God, Hi-Fi Rush! I can't wait to play this. Sea of Thieves, oh my God! Were you excited for you were excited for these games, but you refuse to play them because you don't want to play them on Xbox. Shout out to Lloyd Metro, $2 super chats. I assure you, Nintendo will never share any games, not even to PC. He didn't say the last PC part, but I'm right there with you. They will never.
Nintendo has never been worried about
Yeah.
Western companies. They're not worried about
We
any
do
of
not
us.
exist to them.
We do not
Yeah.
exist. They do things to please their
themselves.
Japan.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
like I don't know if you saw that, but there was an article where they came out and they were like, we're not laying off anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not in competition with us. It's stupid that we think we're in competition with them.
Yep. They operate on a whole nother plane
Yeah.
of existence.
They don't care about us. Nintendo makes their money at the end of the day. And I think the difference is like I'm not like super in like I don't know anybody. I wasn't rubbing elbows with anybody at Nintendo. But they're not greedy the same way corporate America is greedy.
Bordy just said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like all money ain't good money to them.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, PlayStation is Japanese company. They greedy.
Sony, let's go back. Sony was first not a game company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
they tried to partner with Nintendo on a console, and then it didn't pan out, so they created the PlayStation.
Yes.
But
They
Sony
were
also-
always about. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, girl.
I was just gonna say. Also, Sony does movies. Like they have their hands in a lot of different.
Madam Web.
Oh God, that movie is so bad.
I didn't
Sony
see
needs to
it.
give Spider-Man IP back to Marvel and quit playing with us.
I didn't see that. I've heard mixed. Like some
If you
people I've
go
heard
into
really
it-
liked it, but I don't know what
If-
people are going in expecting. You know what I mean? Like I don't
A
know.
good
The
movie.
early Marvel movies, like the Electras,
Oh,
it's gonna be like right on that kind of like.
Oh, see, I like that.
crappy
I like
level.
janky movies.
I like, yeah. But you know what? I
I
always
like
feel
that.
like they don't put like Hollywood and these studios don't put the same amount of effort into movies that star women, especially that are superhero movies. I think the last one they did was like Wonder Woman, and people were like, "Oh my God, that actually, was decent." And I was like, "Well, they actually put in a lot more effort for that
Not
one."
the second one.
Not the second one, but the first
No.
one, because they were trying to make a point, because that Wonder Woman came off the basically the back end of Black Panther. So remember there was a lot of shit about like Black Panther not being able, and then they were just like, whoa, Black Panther, like everybody loves Black Panther. You have like little Asian kids running around like Black Panther, like everybody loves them.
True.
And then they were like, okay, let's do the Wonder Woman.
I don't know why that was funny.
I was
Fame's reaction
I was,
coming.
I
Oh
was
shit! Look at that Asian kid just like Black Panther.
No,
because
that
I was in South Korea
If you
and they
wanna know.
filmed. They filmed
Okay, that makes
part of
sense.
it
You in South
Busan.
Korea. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
But
Okay.
you
So,
also
like, the
wanna
first
know
showing
why,
of it.
Fame?
Oh.
Why Black Panther was also universally loved was a lot of Asian countries did not have who was portraying Black Panther
They
on their
marketed-
poster.
they
Yeah,
marketed
the
it
Mark
like
did.
that.
He was
Yeah.
wearing a
Yeah.
mask the whole time.
All the marketing.
Yeah.
You did not know that any black folks were in the movie until you went and saw the movie, or you knew what was happening half the time.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? I got to see it before like everybody else. They had 2 showings in Korea,
Oh.
one in
You
Seoul and one in
know.
Busan. But no, I was the only black person in the theater.
Oh.
And so like it
I
was
thought you was in the movie.
bro, I
How
walked
many
out of
people wanted to take
walked
pictures
out
with
of
you?
there, just like 2. But I walked out of there like I was like, I was part of the movie, So I was mad proud. I was mad proud to be but I think I was the proudest
Wakanda.
I'd ever been to like be black in an area where like there's just none of us there.
If
Yeah.
they asked you, I'm gonna get back to the topic, but if they had asked you, surely you would have been like, "Yep, that's me."
Yep.
Yep,
That's
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
Black people.
Yeah.
Boy, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Listen. I want to jump back. I want to sidetrack. I do apologize. I think what's most important for Microsoft moving forward right now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, they got to be more clear with their messaging. Because
Yeah.
again, you can't have a podcast and say one thing and have a written interview and maybe say something you felt that wouldn't have come off as great in a podcast. Let's keep it a bean. Just be honest. You are wanting to go all in on other platforms. This is not the end. It is the beginning.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely the beginning. But also you have to think of when they say exclusive, like Baron, just to circle around to what Baron was saying, it depends on who's in charge at the time. Right now, it can be exclusive. Who knows if they switch over, lose some of their board teams or whatever, and then next year they're like, we're pushing everything. Like nothing's
But if
exclusive
Hi-Fi Rush sells 1 million copies on PS5,
They gonna put every
They're
game
gonna put
over there.
everything over there.
yeah.
Are you kidding me? And
But I
and-
think
if-
that's
and if-
what they're gonna do anyways, because there's no negative like monetary, there's no negative to doing that. So that it's smart.
let's just talk about the fact that they own one of the top selling games month in, month out, Skyrim. Like they
Yeah.
own that. That is one of the top selling games. It's top 40, top 50 every month.
13 years.
Yeah, you own that. So you already know historically that this is a positive. So why wouldn't you? Look,
Is it time to admit that they're
that they're
I-
yeah.
not that, right? Again, I say this because I'm looked at as the Xbox guy. And I was the Xbox, and I tell you, a lot of times the Xbox community don't rock with me like that. So I'm gonna say something else to make them hate me, and this drives me nuts. But I'm gonna say this: this is only happening because the people who own Xbox wasn't buying the games.
No,
That's it.
no.
Because if the games were selling, we don't need to.
But
Because
let me prove your point wrong. You didn't even give me an opportunity outside of digitally buying it, but you pump Game Pass down my throat. So you push Game Pass on me, and then have you tried, bro? Okay,
If you think the Game Pass metrics were high enough, or if the game sales were high enough, they will be putting their games on PlayStation. Because if the games are high and Game Pass is high, you're selling more consoles. This is a direct.
I think they're trying to step
Baron, no,
away
here's my
from
perfect
consoles.
point. Baron, when we played the Gears, what was it? Gears, what was it called? After 5.
The Gears DLC.
Hive Busters.
Yes.
Every
achievement was rare.
So good was
Every achievement was rare.
single achievement in that game is a rare.
They drug me and
What
you
does
through the
that
mud
tell
on
you?
Reddit over that one. Yeah.
World, right now.
All the achievements.
Every
were rare.
achievement is a rare achievement, but it's 7 million people playing the game.
But that doesn't have
Right.
anything
As
to
much
do
as
with
I
Xbox,
love
it has to
the
do with
community.
developer.
Say that again.
That doesn't have anything to do with Xbox themselves. That has to do with the developers and the studios and how they wanted their game to be developed.
No.
Context.
Explain.
So the achievements he's talking about, these are very linear achievements. These are like,
Catch
we got
50
to act.
pounds.
We
Beat
got
this gym.
we got
something
to
you have
act
to do.
2. We got to
Okay.
Act 2 of the Hive Busters Gears of War game. Act 2, which meant like we literally got to the second portion
Like
and
2 hours
rare
in, if
achievement.
that?
It not even an hour in. Like it was we wrote Fame wrote an article about it. They ripped us apart on Reddit. They were talking all type of crap. And it was just a solid point. Like, look, but we can't ignore the fact that we live in a day and age where access to games is so plenty. People don't finish games. That's one point I don't want to ignore. People do not finish games.
Mm.
You have too much access. You're talking to a guy like most of the games I finish are ones I review. Or I play open world, open-ended games,
I'm
sandbox style
confused.
games.
I
Most
still
people
need
do
you
not finish games. Oh, go ahead.
explain. I still need you to explain the point because I'm confused.
So what I'm getting out of it is because people weren't buying the game, that's why all of this is happening. Period. Point blank. Period. Simple as
No, if that was the issue, they wouldn't be pushing Game Pass. You know how
That
many
part.
free games you could get on Game Pass?
That
You don't
part.
have to buy them.
that part. And then not only
It's
that,
way too much money invested in Game Pass to stop now.
no,
Well, no.
I don't think it was
I
a
don't think that's it
detriment.
either.
No, I don't think it's a sunk cost thing. No. Game Pass is, first off, why do people question the success of Game Pass, but nobody questions the success of Netflix? Nobody questions the success of Netflix at all. And it functions in this same exact way.
Yep.
But yet people question the success of Game Pass. I will never understand it. I
think part of that because people have seen the numbers and know that Netflix is like hemorrhaging millions consistently.
No, but what business doesn't bleed? I don't know too many businesses that just hand over fist. There's no bleed.
But that's now. But here's the thing: the difference between Netflix, like Xbox has Microsoft to circumvent any laws right now. But like Netflix, like
Xbox
that model,
is the third biggest part of Microsoft right now, right? Wasn't that the thing that just came out? Like in their organization,
it came out that their profit margins. I can't be telling right, but everything got better because of ABK.
Okay,
everything looks better because of ABK.
Well, that's fine. Screw it. We love fake numbers anyway. Like that. That's what all of this is built off of. So knowing that fake numbers make things look better, make shareholders happy, but at the end of the day, I do. In a world where there's first off, if subscription service weren't successful, Microsoft's biggest software, Home and Office, is in a subscription service.
Everything is turned to subscriptions.
Bro, if it wasn't successful, the richest company on earth wouldn't do it.
We would still be watching cable.
We watched
We would
Microsoft get rid of HoloLens because they were kind of nervous. We watched them get rid of the Clippy. What was the name? The paperclip, which was basically Grammarly before it was Grammarly. It was Grammarly before it was Grammarly. We watched them get rid of the paperclip. Microsoft kills as much successful ideas
because they're always evolving, and that's what you have to do when you're a software company. And I think like the thing that we need to take away from this is I think we're all very conscious that the Xbox is moving away from their consoles. Like I think we've known that for a while. So what's the next? And they don't lose any money by putting their games on other platforms. It is win. It is a win for them every step of the way. And at the end, it's dollar signs that keep these companies running.
Business wise, I agree. I said this at the beginning. Business wise, it makes sense. Right? It makes. I'm just not convinced that if these games were selling like hotcakes, that they would be on other platforms today.
Well, but how do you? Well, sorry. Okay. First and foremost,
no, I can't quantify that. I'm sorry. That's too
no. And that's fair. And I'm just thinking about what old man Logan said. Xbox has been doing everything in its power to devalue the console. First and foremost, I've always said this. Xbox is not trying to sell you the Series X. They are not.
But hey, a generational leap for your next console. They just told us in a podcast, the next console, biggest generational leap ever.
And guess what that means? It's probably going to be a limited number of them, and there's not going to be that many available. But look, they are not trying to sell us a Series X the way that PlayStation is trying to sell a PlayStation, a console.
Mm-hmm.
That Bro, PlayStation, every commercial I see, you see the Sony, and then it says, boom, it says play whatever, and then it
Play has
the,
no limit.
And it makes
and then
sense.
but then
though.
it has the console and the controller, and it's
Yeah, but Sony has always been a product hardware person, whereas
Xbox is a
Microsoft has
software.
always been software.
Now,
And the fact that, listen, if you had go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you look at a lot of, at least Xbox Canada's advertising, it doesn't include the console. It'll include like a controller. It'll include Game Pass, but it won't include.
Bro,
and you know why? Because you can play the controller on your PC. You don't need an Xbox.
And your phone.
On your phone.
And your tablet.
And your iPad. You don't need an Xbox.
Bro, play everywhere. Look, I'm gonna tell you. I was one of those people that honestly believe, okay, if Xbox had Sony's mentality, Sony would be in some serious trouble for the simple fact that they own Call of Duty. Period. If the mentality of Sony and PlayStation existed in the Xbox house right now, Sony would be quaking. They would be shook. Because all it would take is to make Call of Duty exclusive to crush competition. Period. And if you think people won't move for Call of Duty, you're a fool.
Oh, 100%. But their hands are tied.
Bro,
Microsoft's hands are tied for the next 10 years.
Yeah, but they don't care because
they don't care.
They don't care. And they never care.
Also a franchise that it's unique. Unlike Mass Effect, which is, I'll take my favorite series, Mass Effect isn't gaining new fans year on year. It may gain a few. Call of Duty's going to gain childhoods.
Right. That's because it's the replayability of the game. Like,
and then
you don't
need
to know the story. You just need to get in there and learn how to shoot.
Every single one of us is all played.
I'm absolutely terrible at it.
As much of a power move that would be, Microsoft would and probably could never, even after 10 years, they wouldn't do it. It doesn't make sense. We talking about
too much money.
Okay. I'm sorry. I usually don't look at the chat like that, but I love what Logan is saying, and I almost want him to get in here. But no, check this out. Xbox is not completely abandoning the console. Why they did it, who knows? I didn't fully watch the documentary on why they started it, but I'm thankful they did, right? It's a money move at this point. It's beyond, it's not just Microsoft passion project anymore. This is pure money. So now, in my opinion, I think Microsoft is having a lot more sway and say over what goes on in Xbox land. And that's why we're seeing the pivots we're seeing. I really don't think Phil and them was pushing this. I don't think this was Phil's idea.
I don't think this was
and this is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think this was an in-house Xbox decision. Like, oh, guys, we're winning and we're taking over the zeitgeist. People are talking about us in a positive light. We're finally not, Xbox doesn't have any games. We're finally making all these great moves. We finally have MLB The Show over here. We're finally we got a major exclusive people are looking for and waited all these years for. We're getting Fable. We're getting this. Everything's going well. And you know what I think will be the next step? I think we should get these games on every other console.
Now, CB, I never like doing this because I never want to be the guy that says, "Oh, according to my sources." That's why I usually keep my mouth closed. I hear stuff, I keep my mouth closed. Right? Weeks ago, about a month ago, I got hit about a conflict inside of there, and you're 100% right. Multiple. I mean, on both sides, we do it, don't do it, and you got this one little group in the middle. Big Philly. But you got multiple sides fighting about doing it and not doing it. There's been an internal conflict in Microsoft about this for a hot minute. And it was leaked on purpose because of it. This information came to me a month ago. Right? And I'm telling you, I agree with everything you're saying 100%. I can't say I don't like it or dislike it. It is what it is at this point. I'm going to always base things off of me. And with me, don't pussyfoot around.
Facts.
If you're going to do it, do it. Don't make me believe I need to spend $500 on this box to experience something I could spend on my other $500 box.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
and that's
fair.
what I think for myself and
Yeah.
a lot of other Xbox gamers feel like, don't tell me I need this for these, when in reality, I can just get this and get it all.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Don't
part of the
make me
problem
waste
is
my
like
money.
certain. I think we think they have more liberty to speak,
And they don't.
Yes.
and they don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's
time.
part of the issue. People are getting like pissed off at them. I was like, they're saying what they're allowed to say. And that's why they don't say any more than that. You know what I mean? We can sit here and guess and think. I mean, like, I don't agree with Old Man Logan. I do think that they're going to step away from the console, like within the next 5 years, like completely. And I don't think that that's Xbox wanting to step away from it. I do
it's
think that that's Microsoft wanting to step away from it. And it's like, what, you can play the same games on our computers. Let's just sell our computers
What do you guys think of
And our tablets and our Surface.
and our tablets and everything else.
now that Xbox is profitable? It's time for it to return home to Microsoft, because if you
Yes.
guys remember in the early days of like Azure, which is their cloud, they were like kind of hoeing it out for everybody to try to use to try to get them out. Now that it's stable and secure, we don't hear about it no more.
Everybody get a piece.
That's how companies are,
For the
though.
streets.
It's
They'll
it's like their
test things
tentacles.
out. Test things
They're
out, and
pulling
they're
it
like,
back
"Oh,
now.
okay, we see, and we think we can do better." So
Interestingly enough, we talk about how PlayStation, their whole get down is to sell you a PlayStation.
Yes,
Mm.
1,000.
But now we're hearing their profit margins are not nearly as what they want them to be, right?
oh, that
And
makes
then we
sense.
see a game like Helldivers 2, which is
Mhm.
not made by a PlayStation first party studio, but PlayStation owns the IP. Do gangbusters, one of the highest played games on PC, right? It's doing great. And we heard for the longest time, I got mine on PC. You heard for the longest time how, number one, PlayStation wouldn't put their games on PC. We had a guy on this podcast and Demi Guy Reviews, may he rest in peace, said he would eat a hat if PlayStation games put the PC. And they've begun to happen with older titles, right? And now we get a game like Helldivers. People say, oh, for fame, Helldivers is a multiplayer game. Of course, it makes sense for it to be there. You don't understand what, and I said this about the Xbox gamers, right? You can't be an Xbox gamer seeing what's happening in PlayStation. I think what's happening in Xbox. But you can also be a PlayStation game and seeing what's happening in Xbox and don't think it's happening in PC, right? These games will be day and date in PC. Why? Just like Microsoft, Sony is about the money. And when we're hearing from the CEO telling you that, hey, our profit margins need to be expanded, right? And you've already sold so many PlayStations, right? From the it's still games releasing for PS4. So PS4, PS5, PlayStation is one of the top selling. Baron, take over.
Hey, it's so trippy because there's no way they're gonna pass up on this money. Plain and simple.
Oh,
It is too much money on the board.
Yeah.
And PC is the biggest gaming market out there, out next to mobile. It
Yep.
goes mobile, PC, and then
Yeah.
everything else. Like that, that's just how it works. So if you're telling me I'm actually waiting for them to get the streaming, the cloud gaming
Yeah.
better situation.
If you
Because
had
it's
a
just
company, that's what you would do. If you had a gaming company and your bottom line, it's always bottom line, what your money
Yeah.
is and how to please your investors. And they're like, yo, if you put it on here, you're just gonna make more money. You're not gonna lose any money. You're just gonna make more money. Then logically, that's what
I'm
you
just
would do.
I just
I think people are more loyal to brands and fans than like the
Well,
people at the top.
well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
but let's be real here. We live in a world where I probably couldn't convince you to buy a Galaxy phone.
I mean, you probably could. You try.
Oh, but
I got
okay,
Samsung.
but no, but I'm just assuming you're an iPhone person, right?
I mean, I do have an iPhone, but that's just because that's what I've used for the longest time. And it has nothing to do with brand. I just want to throw that out there. It's just never done me dirty.
got fair,
Amen.
but that alone would be enough to keep you along the line of buying Apple.
Yes.
See,
But once
and
it fucks
so-
up, I might switch.
and that's okay. No, for me, that's what it was for PlayStation. Then I got to PS3, and it's funny enough, it was Skyrim. Skyrim DLC did not work on the PS3. I immediately went and bought all the DLC over again and put it on my Xbox 360, and then I was heavy Xbox from that point forward. That and Fallout 3, because Fallout 3 was not on PS3, right?
Mhm.
I
I
don't
don't know. But
remember.
you know,
think
I'm not
so.
a brand
It was,
person.
yeah, but no, and that's
You know?
that's awesome, right? But a lot of people are
They
like,
are. But I
th-
don't know. My
Subconsciously.
thing is, it's for me, that's why you guys get upset because I still haven't opened the PS5. I still haven't opened the Xbox because I play everything on PC.
yeah, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary. And I think that that's where it's going to go. And then they don't have to spend that extra capital on creating the newest and the best. You know what I mean? Not that I'm saying it's going to be sad when it happens, but I also
Yeah.
remember a time where like we weren't fighting over fucking consoles and you just had all of them. Do you know what I'm saying? I miss that time. Like you had a Sega. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself. You had a Sega. You had a Super NES. You had them all. Like every Christmas.
Well, there was console war there.
No, that was between the companies.
Yeah, the marketing.
It wasn't
The marketing was
marketing
wild.
was wild back then.
Oh my
They did
god.
not care.
They did not care.
Remember the old like Game Boy SP ads with like the people in the beds and whatnot?
They
Like,
were
bro,
just so
it was wild.
Deep.
But
The
no,
90s in the early 2000s was just it.
no, but you bring up a good point. It was between the companies because I do remember. I don't remember there being hey, my Sega is better than your Super NES.
Yeah,
I remember, hey, let me come over and play. You have this version of the same Batman or the same Power Ranger game.
Right.
Like it had different. Yeah.
Disney would release the same game on all the consoles and they would just be slightly different.
Slightly different. Or it'd be a different style.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good point. At least, and I was, I just look at all of this, right?
Sorry, still working.
Okay, no, but I just look at all of this and there's too much money on the table. Long story short, getting back to Fame's point, and I'll let him take over, but there is entirely too much money on the table. And the success of these games, first off, it gives these games longevity.
Yeah. Like,
even if they did a stagger, like I could imagine them. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen first before we get full slate, all games everywhere. You're going to see a year stagger. You're gonna see a year. It's gonna be like, hey, you're gonna see the Sony method. Oh, on console, and then all of a sudden, magically, you get a press conference and you see Horizon Forbidden West on PC. Like, I think that's what is gonna be the new norm.
The new norm for PlayStation will be we gotta increase our profit margins. We're going day and date with PC. Now, mind you, for Sony being the lead dog. Right, for all intents and purposes of the lead dog, we always hear first place isn't concerned about third place. You hear that so often, right? They follow Microsoft in a lot of footsteps, i.e. PlayStation Plus, i.e. games going to PC. Now, hear me out.
For internet.
Hear me clearly, and I feel bad. I feel like I haven't heard Johnny say one thing this whole podcast. Hear me out. Do not be surprised. And I'm not saying this today. I'm not saying this tomorrow. I'm not saying it's 2025. Or 2030. But don't be surprised when the day comes that PlayStation is releasing games on other platforms just like Microsoft did today. Because if the money works, they're going to do it. And you can't sit here and tell me that you're not going to play or you're going to boycott your third-person, over-the-shoulder action-adventure title that you've been hyped about. You're not going to sit here and lie to me and say, I'm not going to play God of War 76 because it's on Xbox. Yeah, you will.
You know how fickle the game community is.
Hogwarts Legacy was the top-selling game of last year. That's how fickle the game community is.
You know how fickle they are. And
the
also,
game of the year winner started on PC. People just need to shut up and play video games. Is that a bad idea? Or should we? That's just.
I'm saying y'all so sensitive.
No, you know what it? No, honestly, it is not necessarily a brand loyalty. Oh no, we'll go with that. It's brand loyalty, and it's just years of catching crap. Like, bro, I've always been for the most part, Xbox gamer. Most of my friends are there. You know what's funny? Well, it's not even just that. Even though I've always had a PlayStation as well, like I've had the PS2, PS1, PS2, I've had them all. I, for some reason, have more friends on Xbox, but everybody and their mama own a PlayStation. The numbers say so.
Because people play more single-player games on PlayStation.
No, but that's my point. So, you know what I mean? So I've always just gravitated.
They're everywhere. You don't have to worry about that at the end of the day, right? So
That part.
I don't know. I've never had someone. I've been playing games since I was little. I've never had someone be like, "Ooh, you're an Xbox fan," or "Ooh, you're a play." And if they did, I would look at them like they were fucking stupid. Like,
Believe it or not, I've
why
seen
do
it
you
at
care?
conventions. Oh, Xbox.
Oh
I've
no,
seen it.
for
Like,
real.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, for real.
Maybe I
Yeah.
don't pay attention
These
to
people
it. I've
exist.
been at it.
Yeah.
No, I definitely believe they exist. But I mean, like, it's like being toxic for the sake of being toxic. Like, why do you care what they play at their house? You don't pay no bills there.
Ooh, tell him, Mama. Tell him.
I mean, you. I think at the end of the day, gaming. And Bam said it earlier. He said it tongue in cheek, right? Gaming progression. Gaming as we know it is done. As we knew it previously, is done. Right?
Yeah, it's a different
We're
era.
talking.
It's changing.
We're talking with subscription services. We're talking with the exclusivity. You can only play this game here. Because remember, it went from everybody talking about just exclusive to now all you hear is console exclusive.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And it's a constant shift to where now we're going, well, this is exclusive, and I got this for the exclusive to, well, it's console exclusive, so you can eat my, and then the next one going to be, well, it has the PlayStation splash screen. Like,
that is going to be, bro, oh my God. That is going to be, and can we speak about that? Can we speak about how Microsoft will constantly like hide themselves and not take credit for their successes and act as if they're not the people making and publishing these games? It is so their marketing.
Maybe it's smart.
It's smart. Oh no, it is smart.
Though.
No,
maybe
it is smart.
Moving in silence.
No, I got you. That's cool and all. Yeah, you make your money, stack your bread.
I mean,
but it doesn't help their. And it's funny because they don't care because they make so much money. But once again, this is old game logic. This is old, like, hey, care about me as a consumer. Like, hey, I want them to know that this came out of House Xbox.
They don't
like,
care no
help
more.
me. Yeah,
they used to, though.
You don't need to be dancing all up and down the street. You just need to show the world what you got and move on with your day.
And it's funny. But they love marketing them controllers.
I
wonder why.
Because this is an accessory to the main thing.
They don't need to market.
Play anywhere.
We're talking about
yeah.
No, I will not go with that. They're too big of a company. I get you, and that's a fair point.
Let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
Do you see a bunch of fucking commercials for Microsoft and Windows?
They don't have to because they're everywhere.
They don't have to.
But check this out.
It still work though, right? Like they put in a lot of effort at the beginning with Xbox. Everybody like you guys are talking about Xbox all the time, and they're not doing any commercials. They've already planted the seed. They don't need to spend any more money on that.
Well, that and then they're not trying to sell us a console. Because let me tell you, if they were really trying to sell their product, the actual physical products, there would be ads for it. You know why they put out commercials and ads and stuff for their controllers? Because they want to sell us the controller.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and then think about how it works in real life. I've said this a few times. Every time, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, every time I've walked into a Best Buy or a GameStop and I've seen somebody buying a console, they're buying a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I also think
I've never seen somebody walk out of the store with an Xbox.
With an Xbox.
I was
just being real.
Box.
Just being real.
But I also think I also think that's part of like the diamond effect where there just weren't enough and it made people want it even more. So you still have people buying it. The other thing I wanted to bring up about Microsoft is Microsoft has always let other people make the things that their games are on. Or their software is on. Do you remember Dell? Dell is still around, right? Dell used to have commercials everywhere. Microsoft ain't got to lift no fingers.
Nah.
True.
Because they're embedded in everything.
They don't have to do nothing but put whatever games that they have other people making on other people's computers. They don't care if it's a Microsoft brand computer. They don't care if it's Dell. They don't care if it's Alienware because that's not them. They don't need to care about that.
And then it's just pure profit. You know what else?
Pure profit.
You know what else is a trip? I think about how Xbox is just. I mean, they just at some point we had not the writing was on the wall. But why wouldn't we assume, and I'm talking more so to myself, because I was definitely one of those people that was thinking with the old way of gaming mindset of like, we won, come play our games here. But they, at some point, were going to mirror their parent company. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way they were gonna function at their core spiritually different than their parent company, like for long. Like, there's
Streaming
no
killed the
way.
console war.
Yeah,
Remember how radio
man.
killed the streaming's gonna kill
Killed.
the console war.
Holy, yeah. Cause bro.
And you know what? For one, I'll be happy when it's over.
Well, my
because-
only worry is we're seeing the death of physical. That's my
yeah, but that's been in the works for a minute now.
But
And
you see limited runs, but you see limited run today announced that those Hi-Fi Rush, and I wouldn't be shocked if that's what we start seeing.
Yeah.
But
moving
those are
forward,
people
like
who are trying to like conserve it, like limited runs trying to conserve it.
that's their whole purpose.
That's
Physical
the
forever.
whole purpose because
Yeah.
they look at video. This is a whole nother topic, but looking at video games as an art form and not being able to own those art forms and them being just online. Because listen, I know you think you own a lot of games in your library on Steam, but you don't own that shit. If Steam was to go
that's
under,
why I got
you ain't got
physical.
nothing. You ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You know what's wild? We've did this show. Shout out to the people in the chat. First of all, the people who are just watching and not commenting, we appreciate y'all too. Y'all some real ones. But for the ones who was commenting, appreciate y'all because y'all commenting and hitting that like button pushes the algorithm and it helps us grow. So I just want to say thank you. Honestly, even if you didn't press the like button, the fact that you came through, I appreciate it. But I gotta say, we gotta carve out a corner in this hour because Johnny didn't say a word this whole podcast. Damn. So we're gonna take this is called Johnny's Corner. I need Dallas to make a song. Johnny's Corner, Johnny's Corner. Star Trooper about to talk and give his take.
Listen, I'm just layman amongst experts. That's why. But yeah, man. The old king is dead. Long live the king, right? See, everybody's talking about business. You know, the very big word, isn't it? Business.
Mm-hmm.
Money, another very big word, right?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking at it from a different angle. And come with me to Johnny's Corner here. You're gonna see it my way.
Mm.
There's this little game called Pow World, right? Maybe you heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Preach the gospel.
Now, one of us is playing on PC. One of us is playing on a console, right?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, those two friends cannot play together. That's tragic, isn't it?
Touch tips.
And you know what?
Terrible. I'm
Exactly.
trying to have our pals play together on our base.
What was the point of the story?
There is no point. It's Johnny's Corner, baby.
There's no point. We just listening to be listening. Okay,
Yeah.
Finish.
Listen,
I feel like he was.
point and
I
the
feel like
story.
there was the point. Yeah, go ahead.
You know how it's a story. Yes.
Yeah.
Pow World. No, we can't play together. That's a tragedy.
Mm.
But thankfully, there's a silver lining. In like a year's time, they say there will eventually be crossplay. Amazing, isn't it? However, take a game like Halo. If you're on Xbox, I'm on PlayStation. There is no silver lining. We're not going to be able to play together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I am calling for the death of console exclusivity. All games, all titles, everywhere. Except for Nintendo. They're not, they're going to die.
Nintendo's is on their own thing, yeah.
But it doesn't make sense anymore. 2024, the games are $70. Why do I have to pay for it twice? That doesn't make sense.
You know what? I think that's the smartest thing you've ever said.
Just get a PC.
That was good.
Hey,
I'm gonna give you your flowers for that.
Hey, Johnny,
hold on, somebody take a picture. I'm looking good right now. Hold on.
You are
I know.
looking
I
good.
mean,
Hold on,
but I mean that's just
right.
you, fam.
somebody on stream, take a picture.
You got
I
a little
made it
something
big.
right here.
I need a profile picture.
Well, dude, we
Yeah,
gotta
you
Your
look
thank
like
you face.
You know what
You
we
look
gotta
like a
do?
king
We
posing
gotta
for a
get
portrait.
somebody to take like JC Penney pictures of us when we meet up in Boston.
Oh,
Oh my god.
is
We
JC
gotta-
Penney still
we
a
gotta-
thing?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Are we taking JC Penney pictures at PAX?
Okay,
have
let's
to.
wait.
Okay, I'm
Don't
putting
get too
my
excited because
order in.
I'm actually
Can hug
working.
now? Can Dez be in front of us, landing like this?
Chicken hat.
I demand
gotta
an
do
order. However much it costs, I'm putting my order in, please. I need those photos
Let's do
today.
it. Oh my
we gotta
god.
do it.
Happen.
All
We gotta
right.
do it.
Y'all,
It's
Listen,
been a
who's
while
researching?
since we've done
Find the
end.
JCPenney.
Yeah, find the JCPenney. Somebody get on it.
Johnny.
Hug, we haven't done this in a while, so we're gonna do it. Chat, this is where we really need y'all participation
Oh Lord.
because I'm gonna read out what y'all put. So, chat, this is for you. If you have a video game, anime, movie, or TV show that you've been vibing with heavy, and you think others need to vibe with, you're gonna spread that gospel and drop those in the chat so I can read it. While y'all dropping those, I'm gonna go to my panel. B, I'm gonna start with you. Anime, video game, movie, or TV show that you vibing with, that everybody else needs to be vibing with as well.
Oh, me. Hi. Welcome.
So dumb.
There is a game out there, swaggy, that's physical, called Helldivers 2. You guys can definitely go out there and
Never heard of it. Ooh.
spread that democracy all over the place. You can
Ugh.
also
Don't say it
go and
like that.
play. Oh no, the democracy will be spread.
And you'll like it.
That's so
Moist.
warm of you. Damn.
But yeah, skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god. But also go and play Valorant because I need somebody to carry me out of the iron realm because all the people I play with now don't carry me
You.
like they should. Yeah. I suck. I need great teammates to carry me to the top.
Damn, Johnny's not a great teammate.
No, he's
I don't
awesome,
play
but we just
competitive anymore.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
bronze, and I'm not
And he
letting
got
him
bron-
drag me
yeah,
back
he's
down.
Anything else, B?
make sure that you guys go and find a good stir-fried rice with a proper amount of egg.
I didn't say food, Bucko.
Oh, my bad. Oh, a TV show. Go and watch the Unwanted Undead. It's a dope anime where long story short, guy dies and comes back.
Okay.
Listen, normally I would go
Hey.
last, but my stuff always gets said, so I'm gonna go really quickly and I'm gonna move over to Hugger. For game, go play Power World. For shows, go watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Fire.
Is it?
So good.
Okay.
I hug you up.
If you're interested in, long K-drama style cutscenes, go play some Yakuza. And since it was just announced, I am rewatching the old 80s X-Men to see they really got to retcon my girl Jubilee, make her into something cool.
He is cool. I'm sorry.
Give Roll Cup
Jubilee
booty
is
back.
cool.
Give her cakes back.
Yeah.
Give her them.
How you
cheeks
take
back.
the yams off a road?
That's crazy.
Uh-uh.
She been thick 'em.
Can I get
They
to
need to
the
retcon
yams?
that.
Can I
Mhm.
get
So
a
I'm excited for when the
piece?
new one comes out. Like, go watch them. Jubilee, come on. They got to do my girl right. Her little sparkle fingers, come on. She could be
Dead Island 2 is on
explosive
Game
expert.
Pass.
Yep, there's there, Yobi. Game out. His suggestion is Dead Island 2. It is on Game Pass for those that want to try it. Bordy McBoy said Disco Elysium is such an emotional and enthralling. I can't read.
Enthralling.
Beautiful experience.
Enthralling.
Enthralling, a beautiful experience. The Lord had me glued to my seat. Also, Sea Carnivals. Flames of Founder said I recommend the anime The Faraway Paladin season 2 that recently wrapped up. It is a step up from season 1. Any more suggestions? Nope.
Ooh.
Yes, your suggestions for this week.
If you like playing games with friends, Lethal Company is pretty fun. And they have a lot of mods for it, so check that out. What else have I been playing? I went back to A Day Out, so I'm still hunting cryptids. So,
Ooh.
for TV shows, I've honestly just been watching random 80s movies on YouTube.
Nice.
So,
All
I
the
don't
kung
have
fu
any-
movies are there. All the
I know
kung fu
I've
movies
been
are there.
watching like a bunch of stuff. So I watched something with Danny Glover and Sally Field, and that made me angry. So don't go watch that. And then I watched a movie called Tim, where Mel Gibson is playing like he's on the spectrum. Like it's weird.
Yeah,
I want you.
Oh,
Did you
no.
see it?
that sounds very familiar.
Okay, I want to talk to you about it afterwards because I can't. I'm confused about something.
She needs to.
You gotta
talk
go.
about it. She
You
needs
gotta
to
go
know.
watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape. That's
I
another
have
good
seen
one.
What's Even.
Oh
That's
man, I love
good.
that movie.
That's a
Listen,
great-
Leonardo was so good in
We're
that. I
not
thought he was
going
actually on the
anywhere.
spectrum. And then it makes sense.
Yeah.
It came out when I was like in the 7th grade. Don't judge me. That's it. That's it for me.
Shout out to Lloyd Metro. He says For All Mankind is on Apple TV. It's such a great show. Am I missing one? No. All right. Johnny, what you got for people this week? If you got something in the chat, drop them out. Anime, movie, TV show, video game that you think is dope, that you just checked out, maybe something you think people need to be going and diving into, drop it. Johnny, we on you.
Hi, welcome back to Johnny's Corner. For video games, I'm not going to recommend Valorant. It's trash. I hate it. Baron keeps making me play.
Why do we keep
Big
playing?
facts.
So, I'm going to recommend to you a little indie game, Helldivers 2. You want to spread democracy? We all love democracy. I mean, some people say managed democracy is a bit of an issue. What democracy isn't managed? I'm just going to lay that out there, okay?
Basically done.
For TV shows, The Bad Batch, Season 3, final season just came out last night. Is it going to be trash like the other 2 seasons? Maybe. But we'll have to see. You know, interesting premises so far. That's me, Johnny's Corner. Love you guys.
Let me see.
No,
Lord Metro also says
Also-
Ultros on PC and PlayStation. Amazing Metrovania. Who we lose?
Baron.
Oh,
Baron?
Baron.
Dipped out.
He died?
He'll be back.
He ain't
He
gonna
always
make it.
Comes back. Oh no, he might not make it to say bye. You would say bye if
not.
you have.
Baron says
Mm,
bye.
I
I
can
don't
quit.
really like him.
Baron says bye.
D, you came at the end, but you got one? You got a suggestion?
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, like Hugger. Play Remedy games. Preferably Control for this particular suggestion. Start at Control. Definitely go to Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2 after that. But while doing that, make it a point to binge SCP Foundation content.
Girl, what are you going through?
The creator
I'll
that
miss-
I didn't like Alan Wake, the first one, because he drops his gun all the time. And then I had a photo.
Hey, that's authentic horror.
I just mean like he could hold on to the flashlight, but he couldn't hold on to the gun.
In
Every
other words, she
chapter?
hates incompetence.
Yes.
I believe it.
Ooh.
I mean, you know what? That's like my
He said
favorite.
he said it's better in the new game, which I already know. Because I was just like, yeah, I really
The
can't.
nude
stand
game. What game
The
is that?
new one, Alan Wake 2.
Oh.
Because I told him I didn't
I was
like
gonna say we
him.
bringing back Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Or a game that Johnny likes to play, House Party.
Girl, we bringing back Last of Us Part 2, that Abby scene again. What?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, that's and Last of Us 3, that's gonna be a mini game from what I heard. My sources say.
I
Yeah.
wanna play
It'll
no
be
it
like
kidding.
so
it'll be like hot
bad.
coffee
You
from
should play
Grand
whatever
Theft
you
Auto
want
San
to.
Andreas.
If it has some nudity in it and you enjoy the nudity, play it.
Play it.
Oldies get
Listen,
baby.
we're getting out of here. Everybody who came through, whether you chatted or didn't chat it, we like you. If you really chatted, we love you. Y'all are freaking amazing. Shout out to our channel members who are supporting Level 1 Gaming with the support and all that good stuff. We love y'all. We out of here. Peace.
사랑해.